Welcome back, everybody, to the Queen of TV channel. Before we get into our intro, we have to do our three things. First, please watch the video all the way to the end, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Second, there will be cursing and profanity. If that's not your cup of tea, this channel is not for you. Lastly, I will be giving my honest opinion about the episode and the show as a whole. Without further ado, let's get into the intro. Welcome. I'm your host, the Queen herself, and you are the Prince and Princesses. You're either a reviewer or you're a subscriber. Either way, welcome. Today we'll be talking about H2O Season 1, Episode 20, Hook, Line, and Sinker. We saw off the episode with Lewis showing up at Cleo's house, all pumped up and excited about the swimming competition. But Cleo lets him know that she will not be entering this year with him because of the mermaid issue. And though Lewis is bummed out about it, he decided to show her his new invention. He created his own fishing lure. Cleo pretends to be excited for him, including her father, who is on the judging panel. Cleo tries to convince Emma and Rikki to come. Emma hesitates and says she doesn't know, but she'll think about it. Rikki, however, cannot come because she has a prior engagement to deal with. She runs into Zane and they have an awkward moment between each other before she leaves. And he goes sit down, I guess. Cleo shows up at the competition as everybody's getting ready to sign up and get started to join. Before anything good can happen, Lewis immediately has some trouble with everything because of Nate. Nate trips him, and Lewis ends up getting soaking wet. Cleo tries to smooth everything over and tell Lewis not to worry about it, but Lewis is still upset and nearly gets into a fight with Nate. Cleo is able to break it up, and the whole situation right now is left on pause. We see that Rikki is at a seminar, the same seminar that Zane is at, and they talk for a little bit before Rikki leaves. So this is what the prior engagement was that she was talking about. We put back to Cleo's house where she gives Lewis her fishing rod to use for the competition. He decides to add his fishing lure on there, and Cleo again pretends to be all happy and excited for him. Well, the competition goes on the way, and Cleo is not liking the fact that all the other fishermen, including Nate, are making fun of Lewis. She decides to help him win. She ends up going to the beach and using her ability as a mermaid as a way to help cheat and win the competition for Lewis. Emma does show up. She decides to be supportive and gives food out for Lewis. Lewis then notices that his fishing rod is starting acting very strange as he has something big that's pulling in. He is able to reel in a giant fish. Something that makes Cleo look very cheaty because this is a huge fish that she helped Lewis catch. And it might have some repercussions, but Emma is also suspicious, as it makes no sense for Lewis to have caught a big fish like that. We come back at the seminar where Zane and Rikki have another conversation, and Rikki lies that her dad dragged her there and that the place is booked. She's not able to get any food. Zane's dad interrupts them and tells Zane to go get his notes for the seminar. He apparently is being an ass to him. Zane is able to convince Rikki to go upstairs with him to the hotel suite where there's food there. They end up going upstairs, and while admiring the room, Rikki decides to walk out on the balcony. Zane hesitates at first, but he joins Rikki, and the door ends up closing, and they are both locked out. Whoops. At the Juicenet Cafe, Emma confronts Cleo, and Cleo admits that yes, she helped Lewis cheat. Now, unbeknownst to them at the competition, they had weighed the fish. It was very heavy, great size. Lewis was passing out his fishing lures for price, and Nate was suspicious that Lewis probably cheated. Now at the Juicenet Cafe, while Lewis is happy on his win, the other fishermen, along with Nate, including Dom, think that Lewis had cheated. Lewis denies that he had cheated until he looks at Cleo's direction and notices that she looks very guilty. He realizes that Cleo cheated, not him. Lewis is banned from the competition, and Dom even tells Lewis that he is not allowed to even come near Cleo because he doesn't want her to be associated with cheaters. Yikes. Cleo tries to smooth things over, but Lewis tells her there's nothing she can do. He has been banned. So she gets this idea in her head that if her and Emma decides to help all the other fishermen win big giant fish, they might see that Lewis did not cheat. Emma agrees because Cleo brings up it is for Lewis. So she agrees to help her. While they're doing that, Zane and Rikki are still outside this balcony. And his dad is calling the hotel room to try to figure out what the hell is Zane with the notes. Zane is obviously upset. And they do have a fight over it. And they refuse to talk to each other until Zane starts getting all sweaty. See, we find out that Zane is afraid of fucking heights. So am I. And Rikki is able to help him overcome his fear of heights. And they start having a sweet moment together. They talk about how terrible their fathers are. Rikki says her dad forgets her birthday every single year. Then there is Zane, who tells us that his dad, who should be in prison, left him in another country at the age of 10 years old. And Zane had to get his own passport and ticket back to Australia. And his dad is not in jail. I wonder why Zane's mom is not around. I also wonder why she left Zane with his father, but you know what? I digress. Before they can continue their sweet talk, it starts to rain and Rikki has to duck for cover, which confuses Zane. Emma and Cleo are able to find a whole army of fish that they use to trick the fishermen into thinking that Lewis won the competition fair and square. All the guys that Lewis gave lures to start using them, and what do you know? Within a matter of seconds, they start catching all these different fish. And Lewis is looking like the good guy here, while Nate and Dom are scratching their heads as to how this is possible. Zane and Rikki continue their sweet moments together, and he even offers to cover her in his coat. His dad, however, interrupts them and shows up pissed, asking Zane why he didn't bring him his notes and why he up here sitting with Rikki having these moments together when he should have been finding a more reasonable girl at the seminar who actually got a future. If he knew what we knew about Rikki after watching Mako Mermaids, he probably would have been well supported very quick. But even I don't support their relationship. So, I mean, I don't say I don't support it to where I don't think it can work. I just think that there's so many factors that contradict it actually working. But again, I digress. Zane decides to stick up for him and Rikki, which makes Rikki happy, and Rikki leaves, telling Zane's dad it was nice knowing you, but that would be a lie. She leaves to go to the elevator, but Zane stops her and he gives her a kiss after she gives him his jacket back. And that's the end of their little moments together. Lewis is given a formal apology, reinstated back in the competition. He wins the competition, much to Nate's dismay. He even gets an apology from Dom, saying that it's okay for him to be around Cleo and that he can see her anytime that he wants. Rikki finally shows up, and when Cleo and Emma ask her if she did anything exciting today, she gives a vague answer and decides to keep the Zane situation a secret from them. Let's just say that's going to actually bite her in the ass. But the episode ends with that. Let's get into the review. Zane and Rikki have officially entered into the we're going to start becoming a couple phase. As much as I don't support their relationship because to me it is toxic, now looking back at it and actually looking at their relationship and not trying to sugarcoat everything, these moments they have together where they can sit down and communicate, and in a way they are trauma bonding. I can see why so many people find their relationship so endearing. But I cannot, because I can see the signs of why this relationship will not work and how it brought more problems in their relationship than good, because once they got into a relationship, they did not really address their problems that they have with certain things going on in their relationship or with each other. But I digress. This episode with them was very sweet. Even I have to admit that. And to be fair, it is not a bad episode. It's actually one of my favorites. What's even more sweet than their moments is Cleo and Lewis. Another relationship that I started to notice had problems as well, and is also my favorite couple. This is a very sweet episode with these two. This is more like the actual couples that everybody truly supports having an episode focused on them. Was Cleo wrong with cheating? Absolutely. Like, at least give Lewis a heads up. I understand why Cleo did it. These guys was making fun of Lewis. He was having a hard time. They were judging him. She wanted to help. She was fed up with it, especially with Nate. So I get that she tried to help him, and it was really sweet of her to tell Emma that, I can't think of any reason why you would want to help me, but I could think of one, Lewis. And that got Emma to be like, you know what? Yeah, let's help Lewis. Again, I don't get why fans don't think that they don't give a fuck about him, but sometimes there's a lot more of the bad that people rather focus on than the actual good of their relationship. So I can see why. But that does not mean that I'm going to keep bringing it the fuck up until people start realizing that they did not mistreat him and they do care about him. But other than that, like, having these moments between these two couples that we know are becoming a couple is really nice to see. And I know it brings a lot of joy to people because this would probably be everybody's favorite episode. A lot did happen in this episode, and there are some things I want to talk about. First of all, let's talk about why the fuck Zane dad is not in prison. Your 10-year-old son in another damn country by himself and you somehow still got custody of him? There is no fucking way anybody's gonna tell me that Zane's dad is redeemable. How the fuck is he redeemable? His dad left him in another country. This man didn't even buy him no plane ticket. So he had to get his own damn plane ticket, be on a plane by himself all the way home. When I tell you that this boy is fucking traumatized, his daddy issues go so far off of a fucking cliff, all I gotta do is direct you to this episode for you to understand that. That is crazy to me. Like, Rikki's dad forgetting her birthday, like, that's not that serious. But Zane's dad leaving him in another country, that shit is serious. He should be in jail. I just don't understand. And speaking of parents, look, I understand Dom thinks that Lewis cheated, but going as far as to tell him that he is not allowed to be anywhere near Cleo is mean. Like, that's just so mean. And Cleo probably didn't even realize that her dad said this. It's just so damn hurtful. But I can understand you would want your kids to be around somebody that has like a squeaky clean background, not know he been to prison and he's got issues. His family is that family where the police always at their house. He's a troublemaker. He's too poor. He's too stuck up. You know, parents got their preference on who their kids should be dating. They shouldn't, but they do. Emma didn't really do much this episode, but I do give Emma her brownie points. She got on the Cleo's case about cheating. She willingly helped Cleo because it was for Lewis' sake. And on top of that, you know, she just all around was just being supportive. Now, this whole situation with Rikki not being honest with Cleo and Emma about her time with Zane, I don't understand why she kept it a secret. I understand that, yeah, they probably would have gotten upset and been very honestly upset with her because they have every right to be. Like, Zane is technically hunting them down. Why are you keeping this a secret from them? Like, warn them that you're dating him. And if you're going to date him, like, prevent him from actually finding out this mermaid secret and like tell him like the only way I'm gonna date you is if you drop the subject. But Rikki doesn't do that, and we're about to see how this all comes back and bites her in the ass. Other than that, I really don't have a lot to say about this episode besides just gushing over favorite couplings like come together. Well, only one of them has come together. Cleo and Lewis is not coming together. The show is dragging this shit out, and they should have not dragged this out. This all could have been solved if they just made them a couple in the 12th episode. But again, I digress. But let me know what you guys think of this episode. Please watch the full episode first before you come here. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. You know, have a blessed day and have a wonderful day. And do you agree with me about, you know, them putting Lewis and Cleo together, like literally 8 episodes ago, or not? Okay, I'm actually done this time. If nobody told you guys today, I'm telling you today. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video, but because you already know this is not the last time we'll see each other. So until then, bye guys.